Hey everyone, ZeMnouS here back with some more comfy builds. Today's comfy build, we're going to be taking a look at a 3.0 specialty that Monster Hunter Rise has given us with the latest update, being the Narwa Ibushi mix between not only the armor, but we're also going to be sitting there and using a Ibushi weapon, being the Charge Blade. As you can see, the Charge Blade is going to have a ton of sharpness to it, which is going to be great for sitting there and doing certain things, like sitting there and just mass spamming nothing but SAEDs or AEDs. There is merit to sit there and play like the axe hopper kind of style when you're sitting there and just using and abusing Savage Axe. This is just my preferred play style of just sitting there and just dunking on things' foreheads. It's just a great time for me personally, and I've found more enjoyment out of it than just sitting there and just constantly spamming Savage Axe over and over and over again. Very much probably going to be a hot take, and you are going to get a ton with sitting there and having all the shortcuts memorized with sitting there and using Charge Blade specifically. But with all that out of the way, let's sit there and show you what's underneath the hood and start this party off. As I said, we are sitting there and using Ibushi Charge Blade. The Abyssal Gale Ward is by far a solid choice to sit there and rock. There are probably better forms of this by sitting there and utilizing a non-Ibushi weapon with this build, but I didn't feel like sitting there and showing off Narga because, well, let's face it, there's not a lot of weapons that sit there and have enough slots for what we really need to get more skills within this. Sitting there and also rocking Ibushi Soul, which Ibushi Soul is going to sit there and give us more defense overall, so we are going to sit there and be able to tank a lot more. There are merits for sitting there and using anti-aerial for increased damage, but I just overall rather play this comfortably, because then I can sit there and just hunt whatever I want and I don't have to worry about sitting there and switching my rampage skills again. Overall, just solid time. Narwa's helm, no slots, so we're just gonna go straight into the breakdown for skills. Thunder alignment to sit there and give you good luck when you get level 5. Rapid morph level 1, offensive guard level 1, and Storm's soul level 1. Storm soul will sit there and increase your overall amount of skills you get by +1. So since we have all 5 pieces having storm soul, we are going to sit there and fully max out any skill you are seeing right now. So this is overall going to be super important. You can sit there and get away with doing certain things, like saying running Storm Soul level 4, so only using 4 pieces, and then trying to slot in a different piece of armor here. That is a little bit on the more complicated side that we are still kind of messing around with to see if we can get anything done with, but that definitely requires a really strong talisman from that. So if you have a God Charm, this could be really a juicy set for you to play with. I have Ibushi breastplate with wind alignment, guard, flinch free, and storm soul yet again. Flinch free is going to be the problematic portion of this build that leads it to be a little bit less desirable, because of the simple fact that you're maxed out on flinch free. So do keep that in mind. You have to very much care for and worry about certain mechanics via paralyzation, sleep, or other things, because you can't sit there and have your fellow hunters, if you're hunting in a party of 4, knock you out of them. So do very much keep that in mind. Also, wind alignment, we're only going to sit there and be getting it to level 4, so we're increasing our dragon resistance, because we can't, because of how the two sets work. You need at least 3 pieces to sit there and get great luck. So getting great luck at least with Narwas is where we're getting that from. Narwa's pardons, guard, Partbreaker, Storm Soul, and Thunder alignment are just overall gonna be the parts that we're running and rocking on this one. Narwa's flaws. We're sitting there and getting guard and artillery. This is where our damage is coming from, straight from artillery. We're just gonna sit there and constantly be just dumping files, constantly dumping SAEDs on top of something's head. For those that are also new to Charge Blade, super elemental discharge is what we're gonna sit there and be doing. So when I sit there and say SAED, that's what we're referring to on that one. Slugger and guard up from Ibushi. We're also going to sit there and be helping our hammer or hunting bros by sitting there and getting in extra bit of slugger to sit there and give them more KOs. This overall between guard up and slugger are just going to be super solid. Guard up giving you a ton of ability to sit there and just tank a ton of hits. You sit there, have a hit come in, block it, sit there, barely take any health. So super solid overall. Very, very enjoyable. Absolute Pedalis is the go-to for when you're not sitting there and using stamina super high. Overall, just always solid. Finally, the last piece, we are sitting there and rocking our charm being a razor sharp level 2 with 3 level 1 slots, which we're going to sit there and slot in stun resistance. Stun resistance by far is probably the most problematic portion of the 3.0 update. Between Narwa, AK, or AK for those, spoiler warning, Allmother, sitting there and causing a ton with the fact of giving us Thunderblight, and Apex and Ogre also being a ginormous pain in the butt with Thunderblight. Having the fact that we can sit there and go through and ignore the stun off of that is just super solid. It's as much needed, because you're not going to be able to sit there and have a really good time with getting stunned all the time. Like, this is just going to not happen for you. And with us negating stun, that's just definitely the go-to position. There are better ways to sit there and get your artillery builds going, but we wanted to do something special here on the channel with Narwa and Ibushi mix to sit there and play with, and not only sit there and play with it, but to have fun and show you guys the ultimate comfy that you can get out of a Narwa Ibushi set. With that, what are we overall rocking? 230 attack is going to come straight from this bad boy on our back here. 19 dragon. We're not really caring about the dragon overall. Ibushi's dragon damage is very, very low. You're much more caring about his raw. It's kind of like how Gossarag has ice to it. It's a side effect that if you really want to increase your damage at the later point, you can sit there and do that, or you can sit there and choose to ignore it. Here, we're choosing to ignore it. Defense, we're rocking 561. Keep in mind, this is all maxed out, and this set is heavily expensive. This is a big fair warning that if you're having Zenny problems, do keep in mind this set is going to be rough. Condensed elemental slash, counter morph slash, counter peak performance. This is all going to be sitting there and abusing the fact of you getting offensive guard rocking and rolling, just sitting there and constantly countering stuff, getting the additional attack buff to sit there and go in for even more big damage is super solid overall. We are having a 3-piece resistance bonus, which it's there, it's a thing. It's not too big, but it is something to mention. Finally, what is this set gonna look like overall once Storm Soul has taken care? We are sitting there and getting guard level 5, thunder alignment level 5, Storm Soul level 5, wind alignment level 4, guard up level 3, offensive guard level 3, slugger level 3, artillery level 3, Stun resistance level 3, part breaker level 3, flinch free level 3, rapid morph level 3, and razor sharp level 2 for the overall build. This is by far a ton of fun. You could just sit there and hunt monsters for days with this. I've had a blast sitting there and playing this. Just overall, it's been great. And if you're new to Charge Blade, I definitely give this one a try, because outside of the fact that the set itself is expensive, being the fact that you need to max out the armor pieces to sit there and get it so that way you can get Storm Soul on it. Once you're finished with that grind, it's just overall a great time. If you sit there and you have a really good talisman to throw in here, it's so comfy. Like there can't be enough said on that. But with all that, I'm gonna stop rambling on, and definitely thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely thank you to all that have subscribed so far and have liked the videos. I thoroughly appreciate all of you very much so for doing that, since I am such a small content creator. But with all that, have you guys yourselves a great day, and just remember, hunters, stay comfy.